Word problems. Erica loves soccer. The ladies' coach tells Erica that she scored 19% of her attempts on goal last season. This season, the coach predicts the same percentage for Erica. Erica reports she attempted approximately 1,100 shots on goal last season. Her coach suggests they estimate the number of goals using experimental probability. What do you know about percentages to figure out the relationship of goals scored to goals attempted? Well, 19 shots made over 100 shots attempted would give you 19%. The experimental probability equals the number of times the outcome happened, so the number of goals, over the number of times the experiment was repeated, so how many shots were attempted. Erica's experimental probability is the number of goals over the number of attempts. Let's estimate the number of goals Erica scored. Erica makes 19% of her shots on goal. About what percent would be a good estimate to use? Well, 19 out of 100 is very close to 20 out of 100, so she makes about 20% of her shots on goal. Erica takes 1,100 shots on goal. About how many attempts did Erica take? 1,100 is very close to 1,000, so we will estimate that Erica has about 1,000 attempts. Erica wants to find 20% of 1,000. Her math looks like this. 20% equals 20 over 100. You want it to be over 1,000 to see how many out of 1,000 she would get, so she multiplies both top and bottom by 10, and she gets that she makes 200 shots out of 1,000 shots attempted. Erica figures she made about 200 of her shots on goal. Here's a challenge. What are the actual values that will give you 19%? Remember, sometimes it helps to turn a percent into a decimal prior to solving the problem. Alright, so 19% equals 0.19, and 0.19 times 1,100, which is the actual number of attempts she made, gives you 210. So Erica made 210 of her 1,100 shots. Last year, Lexi planted 12 tulip bulbs, but only 10 of them bloomed. This year she intends to plant 60 tulip bulbs. Use experimental probability to predict how many bulbs will bloom. So last year, 10 out of 12 bloomed, so how many out of 60 are going to bloom? Solve this problem by equivalent fractions. So 10 bloom over 12 total equals 50 blooms over 60 total. Based on her experience last year, Lexi can expect 50 out of 60 tulips to bloom. Today you attempted 50 free throws and made 32 of them. Use experimental probability to predict how many free throws you will make tomorrow if you attempt 75 free throws. Alright, so 32 out of 50 were made. So how many out of 75 will you make? Solve this proportion using cross products. 32 times 75 equals 50 times x. So you just multiply those two together and then divide by 50 and you get x equals 48. Based on your performance yesterday, you can expect to make 48 free throws out of 75 attempts. Now it's your turn. Calculate the experimental probability for the number of goals. Alright, so this player attempted 100 shots on goal and made 30 of them. So 30 over 100. That simplifies when you cancel out a 0 from the top and the bottom to 3 out of 10. So that's a 30% probability. This player had 600 goals out of 1,000 attempts, and if you cross out 2 zeros there and 2 zeros there, we get 6 out of 10, which is a 60% probability. Alright, here this player had 150 goals out of 500 shots. If we cancel out a 0 here and a 0 here, that gives us 15 out of 50. If we divide the top by 5, we get 3. If we divide the bottom by 5, we get 10. So 3 out of 10 gives us a 30% probability. And finally, we have 1,600 goals out of 2,000 attempts. So if we cancel out 2 zeros from the top, 2 from the bottom, we get 16 over 20. If we divide the top by 4, we get 4. The bottom by 4, we get 5. 4 out of 5 is 80%.